Now to Mohamed Salah's bombshell interview where he claimed he had been thrown under the bus by Liverpool and suggested this weekend's game against Brighton could be his last game for the club. We're going to be live to Liverpool's training ground a little bit later this morning, but the question is, will Salah be there? Well, he's been criticised by Wayne Rooney. We'll bring you those words in a moment. But first, just a reminder of Salah's interview that has dominated the headlines then.
Seems like a club is throwing me under the bus. That's how I feel it. I think it's very clear that someone wants me to get all the blame. The club promised me in the summer for a lot of promises and nothing. So far, I'm in the bench 3 games, so I can say that they keep the promise. And I said that many times before. I had a good relationship with the manager, and out of the sudden, we don't have any relationship. I don't know why. It seems to me, how I see it, it's someone doesn't want to be in the club. It's not acceptable for me, to be fair. Like, I don't know why that's happening always to me. Like, I don't get it. I don't think I'm the problem.
Well, the fallout to those comments continue. So this is Wayne Rooney speaking to the BBC saying Arne Slot has to show his authority and pull him in and say, you are not travelling with the team. What you said is not acceptable. Take yourself off to AFCON and let everything calm down. If I was him, there would be no way he would be in the team. He is absolutely destroying his legacy at Liverpool. If I was one of his teammates, I wouldn't be happy at all with what he said, because this is where Liverpool need him most. If anything, he's thrown Liverpool under the bus with his words. I'm sure over the next couple of years, he will regret saying what he has. And former Liverpool striker Michael Owen tweeted, "Oh, Mo Salah, I can imagine how you feel. You've carried this team for a long time and want everything there is to win. But this is a team game and you simply can't publicly say what you've said. You're going to AFCON in a week. Surely you bite your lip, enjoy representing your country and see how the land lies when you get back." Well, Owen referenced Salah going to the Africa Cup of Nations with Egypt next week. Many of his international teammates have come out supporting Salah, as has manager Hossam Hassan. He posted this picture of the pair on Instagram with the caption, "Always a symbol of determination and strength." Well, goodness me, Mark McAdam with us now. I mean, a lot to unpack here with Mo Salah. Look, it was an incredible interview. I mean, how did you perceive his comments?
It's one of those moments where you see the headlines coming out. We got an advance email on Saturday night and you had to read it twice because it was explosive and it was quite astonishing in many respects. I think the first thing to say is I always have to respect the player when he comes out publicly and says how he feels and how he thinks. I've worked in football for over 25 years now, and very, very rarely do you get an interview like this. This is a stand to attention moment. And you have to respect Mo Salah, whether Liverpool like it or not. The fact that he's been honest, he's said how he's felt, and he's gone out publicly with it. You have to respect that, because so many players choose to hide their feelings and not be honest. And in the media, that's the one thing we're desperate for. We want the headlines. We want the good grabs. We want the nice interviews. We want the powerful statements, because that's what we're here to try and deliver for the fans. So I respect Mo Salah for doing that.
Yeah.
Then you just have to take a step back and look at what he's done. And there's 3 things, I guess, really, potentially in what he's trying to do. First of all, is he saying Arne Slot is not good enough? The coaching's not good enough. The standards are not good enough. This is a Liverpool Football Club side that are not achieving what they should be achieving, and does the blame lie at the door of the head coach? Point number 1. Could he be also saying, actually, this recent form, this slump in form, this is not my fault. I've been made the scapegoat, as he said. He's the one that's been dropped out of the starting 11. He's the one that's been on the bench for 3 consecutive Premier League matches. But hang on, this isn't about Mo Salah, this is about Liverpool Football Club. And therefore, by me coming out and speaking publicly, I'm addressing that actually I'm not the problem here, and I don't like the fact that the narrative within the media is that Mo Salah's the one that's being dropped, and maybe Mo Salah's the reason why we're not performing as well as we would like to be. And the third thing, I think, quite simple, this is a come and get me plea. You know, January the 1st is not far away, just a matter of weeks now before the window is open. And now, if you didn't know a few days ago, you certainly know now that Mo Salah is potentially available. He still obviously has 18 months on his Liverpool contract, signed a new 2-year deal in the summer, and of course he's on astronomical wages. which limits the very few clubs that potentially could afford to buy him. But when you look at all of that, and that ultimately Mo Salah can only answer what his motivation was for saying what he said so publicly, I think you have to look at those three things, and it will certainly be wrestling control of the narrative, question marks over his relationship with the head coach, maybe trying to engineer a move in January. I put something on my social media to try and just gauge the feeling amongst fans, amongst Liverpool fans. Really interesting to see what both Wayne Rooney and Michael Owen have said. The one thing I took away from my social media post was that Mo Salah is gold-plated at Liverpool. He's untouchable. The fans absolutely back him 100%, and no matter what he says in the media, they still feel he is the main man and he has the right to say and do what he wants. So Liverpool fans very firmly backing him in this situation. Fascinating to see how this plays out, because one thing's for sure, Hayley, this saga won't end anytime soon.
Yeah, and neither will this chat, because look, Mark, did Salah actually have a point? Because, I mean, he's earned the right to be playing, or can Arne Slot actually be justified for dropping him? What do we think?
It's fascinating, because how many times has Mo Salah come up with the goods in Premier League matches, Champions League games, and actually done something? Even if he's had a quiet game or a poor game from a collective or a team perspective, how many times does he possess that special sauce that enables Liverpool to go and get 3 points? Right? So his track record is scoring goals in crucial moments. If he has a quiet game, he can still come up with the magic. I found this really interesting as well. So a lot of talk about his performances individually, a lot of talk about things. Look at this. Distance covered last season in the Premier League, 9.3 kilometres on average per game. Okay. This season, Mo Salah is running more on average than he did last season. Up slightly to 9.7 kilometres. You're surprised at that?
I've not seen this yet, and I am surprised.
Exactly. Yeah. So most people would say, well, has there been a drop-off from Mo Salah? Is he not working as hard for the team? You can see the sprints ever so slightly down.
Not much.
On last season, but 0.3.
Yeah.
But what you're seeing, the distance covered, he's covering more distance than he did last season. So you'd look at that and say, well, actually, he's maybe overperforming what you'd expect him to. There's been no drop-off with regards to the distance covered from Mo Salah. So that's one of the things that I find quite interesting. Then you flip that into the sort of goals and assists where he'll be judged. As you can see, this season, absolutely phenomenal. 47 goal involvements last year as they went to win the Premier League title. 54.7% goal contribution. So you can see the importance to him, how key he is, how important he was last season. This season, there is obviously a drop-off. We know he's not scored as many goals and got as many assists last season. Just the 4 goals in the Premier League, a couple of assists. The goal contribution rate down at 25%. So, again, the output, not quite there for Mo Salah, but certainly with regards to effort, energy, sprints, distance covered, he's doing the same or better than he was last season.
Look, how do we feel the club are going to respond to this? Do you think we'll find out a little bit more about his future as well? We'll find out a bit more about that in a minute.
That's coming up.
Yeah, I just want to know about his future then. And do we think Liverpool will release a statement? How do you think the club are going to react?
I think the club will be really unhappy at this situation. What Mo Salah's done is almost sort of chuck a grenade into the football club and let's see whether it fizzles out or it explodes. We don't know how they're going to react. What we do know is that we've got access to Liverpool later on today. At 11:45, there's an open training session ahead of their Champions League game. So therefore, we will get the opportunity to see whether Mo Salah is in Liverpool training, whether that might change. And then Arne Slot with a player will be speaking today at 6:45. So they're in Liverpool at the moment. They'll be training. Then they fly out to Italy ahead of the Inter Milan game. And then from 6:45, make sure you tune into Sky Sports News later on today. This is a press conference. You get the popcorn out. You do not want to miss. I'm sure Arne Slot will have some really interesting comments about this whole situation and what's happened in the last 72 hours.